Well, and speaking of that unique suspension, lifted it off the ground and one of the coilovers is dripping oil on the ground. So I'm gonna have to tell them about that. The seal looks like it's leaking on this coilover. All right, so looking at the rear coilovers here, obviously we lifted it up and we saw it was leaking. We had a problem where he thought it was bottoming out anyway, and I'm pretty sure that this one is definitely also leaking, and I think this one has already leaked out. So there was a problem in the rear suspension that we had to look at before it even came here for the clutch. However, we wanted to upgrade these to QA1, and the distance fully extended is not matching an option for a QA1 shock. But when I got looking at this, the pivot is actually binding against the top of the shock here, as well as we're making contact against the rear end here. So I don't know if maybe running a shorter coilover and extending this length to give us the height back may be better anyway, because then it wouldn't be binding here. So I think what I have to do is find out, is this shock actually a much longer and just being held in this position because it's binding up? Or is that all the longer that the shock is and what it looks like as the suspension travels throughout? So first step is going to be to pull the shock out just to see how much travel there actually is in the suspension, and kind of go from there, and we'll get some measurements off this when I get it out and see if we can't find a QA1 that'll fit in here a little bit better and possibly take care of some of this rubbing, because I'm assuming that's not supposed to happen. It's making contact on both sides here. This side here, same deal. The spring is actually pinching against the pivot and bottoming out. So I'm gonna get these out of here and just see how much tension's on them when they come out. All right, so I went ahead and I removed the back bolt here, and the coilover does have pressure on it. You can see it's binding up on the pivot. It didn't get any longer, so 15.5 inches is a pretty good length from here to there. However, with it touching right here, it is putting a pressure, causing the shock to try and bend. If I lower this down even more, you can see it goes up even higher and just keeps going higher. So rather than the shock stopping by being pulled to its fullest extent and stopping, it's actually bending this way because it's binding on the pivot. So having this stop at 15 inches with the QA1 versus the 15.5 inches like it's set up here should prevent the top of the spring from touching here. But then I'll be a 1/2 inch short here, where I'm gonna have to make this a 1/2 inch longer. So I might have to get a longer union between this point and this point. However, just to make sure that there's enough travel in the suspension to do that, I'm gonna go ahead and get this completely taken out so I can see how much articulation there is in this, and whether or not it'll stay further away from the rear end housing here, or if that bolt's gonna get closer. And kind of see it's actually wearing the aluminum here a little goofy too. So yeah, I'm gonna pull that all the way apart and take a look at it. All right, I went ahead and I removed this section because I wanted to adjust the pivot to see where it would be at with the coilover. I've got the wheels sitting at exactly ride height, which should be 14 inches between this point and this point when it's on the ground. However, with this disconnected, I went to move the fulcrum and the pivot is jammed because it's actually stuck in the rear end housing back here where it's digging in. So I'm gonna let the wheel back down, and then it pops out of there. So I don't believe there should be contact there. And you can see it's digging in really hard right here. It's actually getting like stuck. So what I need to do is figure out how to extend this rod or move the rear end forward I don't know. We're gonna have to do some work there. All right, so I have this set between the 2 points here at a 13 inch, which would be the ride height of the slightly shorter QA1, which basically moves this up 1 inch, which almost clearances the top here. There's a little bit of touching, but it's nowhere near binding into the housing like it was when it's a little bit lower. So I really think all I have to do is get this rod slightly longer, and I think everything will clear. Because as this drops, this should go to 15 inches and actually stay above this damage and kind of be in this little indent here where it almost looks like it would fit. So I think, yeah, increasing the length of this rod by 1 inch and shortening the shock by a 1/2 inch with adjusting the spring pressure of the actual coilover, I think it'll give us more travel in the suspension without topping the shock out or bottoming out, and probably ride a lot better than having this dent in here. So I'm gonna give them the part number for the 15 inch overall length, and we're gonna have to see what we have to do just to make it fit. But I really feel that coming up with a couple longer rods like this is all it's gonna take to really make this rear suspension work correctly. I think that's possibly why they started leaking too, is when it was lifted off the ground, the pressure that's being put on this spring is actually trying to bend that rod and bend the shock. So if I have a little bit shorter shock in here and it doesn't make contact with this plate, that should no longer happen. So we'll get those part numbers coming, and hopefully that'll take care of the rear. All right, so I've got the new QA1 installed here. As you can see, the shorter length now has clearance there, and it's no longer having the spring make contact with the pivot like it is on this side. This is still the original coilover that's in there. So the new coilover is now a 1/2 inch shorter, and to make up for that, I bought this high strength rod end that we're gonna add the 1/2 inch that we lost here at the spring to this extension here, which should get our ride height back to exactly where it was. So I'm gonna get this set up, and then I'm gonna make sure that it's level, and then I'm gonna do the other side after I get that one in, and hopefully they fit really well. But yeah, this is making contact here where it's digging into the back of the rear end. The spring is making contact with the fulcrum here, and by changing this length, I'll be able to move that pivot point higher, and hopefully it clears the rear end too. So once I get this installed, I'll show you what it looks like. But we definitely now have clearance at the spring and the pivot that we didn't before. You can actually see where it was rubbing. And yeah, that should hopefully take care of some of the bottoming out. So I got the second coilover out, and look at the damage here. You can see where the spring is actually making contact on the shock right here. And look at the top was all offset. What had happened is, I'm pretty sure when it came down and made contact on this pivot, it had popped the spring off to the side, because this was the bottom here. And so it would have made contact on that little spot of paint and pushed it so hard that it dislodged the spring and made it crooked. So fixing it where it can't make contact anymore is a really good idea. Putting the shorter shock in there is going to work out a lot better than the longer ones that were in here. And another benefit of running this shorter coilover, so I needed to add a 1/2 inch to this link rod, which this is the new one, this is the old one. As you can see, there was only that much material basically sticking up inside of there. And with the new one at the same height, there's going to be like double the amount of material actually up in here. So it should be way stronger. Plus this is a chrome moly bolt, so it's definitely way stronger. But hopefully it moves this away far enough that we don't make contact here anymore on both sides, and the springs are no longer going to hit when it's all the way off the ground. And yeah, should work really well. Okay, so here's what we got. You can clearly see now that I have more than enough space to even fit a screwdriver between where it was bottoming out, and that's why that spring was popped out of there and bent. No contact anywhere on the shock. Same thing over here. I've got clearance. I now have clearance here. This one is still pretty tight. It's not touching like it was. I mean, you can see how it was digging in here, but it's still really close to the rear end there. And on this side, we actually have a little bit more clearance, but you can see here it was digging in there too. So hopefully there's no more issues with that actually rubbing. The only thing I could think to do would be shorten both lower control arms and push it forward. However, this pivot is already kind of at an angle that I don't agree with. I would think this would be straight, but to straighten that out, you got to like move the entire cross frame forward. So we'll see. I don't think it's going to cause any kind of problem. If there is contact here, it's obviously going to be less than there was. Yeah, from here, you can see it's not touching anymore.